60% of the time, it works every time.
What's up, everybody? It's the Goal60 here, back for week 5 with Michael once again. We're going to go over some picks we got this week. Hopefully, they're a little bit better than what we had last week because we really both stumbled. We need to bounce back and have a good week this time. So, Michael, I'll let you get started with it.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, last week wasn't a good week. I mean, I know I started out hot the first couple weeks, but last week was terrible for both of us. I'm gonna start off this week. Um, I'm actually gonna start off with a teaser. You know, I have a 14 teaser. You know, I like teasers. I'm
Oh,
looking
yeah.
to bounce back. I don't like a lot of spreads this week, straight up. A lot of them are high. I mean, I don't like a lot of them. Period. I like a lot of teasers this week, but I did do a 14 teaser, and the first team I got in a teaser is we're looking at BYU against Toledo.
Okay.
BYU minus 2.5. I'm going to tease them up to the positive side against Toledo. BYU's played well this year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think they're going to have Toledo easy by 7-10 points. I'm buying BYU in a teaser from 2.5. If we're going to do a 6.5 point teaser, I think what would that put it around 4.5, 5.5, somewhere around there.
The +4. I got you. +4. Yep.
That's
All
my
right.
first play of the day, babe.
All right, so I'm going to jump out with mine. I'm going to take it to the SEC in a game that's involving two SEC West teams, and that is Mississippi State and Auburn. So currently, Auburn's favored by 11 points, and I'm giving them 2.25 points at home for home field advantage. When I look at the stats here, I'm giving Auburn a rushing edge, but I'm giving Mississippi State a passing edge, and I like the +11 even on the road. I think this is going to be a closer game than that. I'm going to take it since it's over 2 scores. I like that number.
All right. I'm actually that was one of my teams in the teaser. I think Auburn wins the game. You never know. I think Auburn wins the game, but I feel more comfortable teasing Auburn down from minus 11, taking the 6.5 down to 4.5. I think Auburn covers that easy. I think they win by a touchdown. I don't know about 10+ points, so I teased Auburn down in that. That was the second team in that 14 teaser. I think Auburn covers by a touchdown.
Okay. Well, I'm going to head out west for Stanford and Oregon State. Right now, Stanford's a 3.5 point favorite. Oregon State's coming off a bye. They're at home, and also I've given a little bit of a home field advantage, like right around a point. If you look at the stats, when I projected it, Stanford a little bit of an edge with rushing, passing. I've actually got Oregon State being able to throw the ball around the field, and I'm going to take Oregon State at home plus a point. So Oregon State plus 3.5.
To be honest, Clayton, I almost put that in mine straight up. Like I said, I didn't like a lot of games straight up. I feel like Vegas was a little closer this week as far as high spreads, people playing close. To me in that play, like I said, I almost wanted to take them plus the points, but I feel better teasing them up and just get more points. I always feel more comfortable with 6.5, 7 point teaser. So
I got you.
moving on with my third team in my teaser, like I said, is Notre Dame against Virginia.
Okay. I actually like taking Virginia here. I'm actually going to be on the other side of you here. I'm going to take Virginia on the road. I've got them actually edging out Notre Dame in rushing and just barely behind in the passing game. I think Notre Dame has a letdown week this week, and I like taking Virginia on the road plus the 12.
The thing about it is with me, Clayton, against Georgia, they're going to be a playoff team, and if Notre Dame wants to be considered against a playoff team, they got to put up points. They got to bounce back from last week. They got to make up for that loss. If they want to be in the conversation, they got to score points to be put in that conversation. I think
You're
Notre
right.
Dame. I think Notre Dame's going to come out balling out. I think they're going to put up points to prove a point that they can hang with the SEC team. That game was close.
It
So,
was.
my fourth and final team in that parlay is another SEC team, and I'm going to go with South Carolina.
Okay.
I know they didn't play as well as we all thought last week, but I'm thinking about teasing them down from -3 to I think that'd be what, -2.5.
Yep.
That was the final team in that teaser.
I got you. Well, I'm going to actually go with the Big 12. I'm going to be looking at Oklahoma State here against Kansas State. You look at Oklahoma State last week, they lose to Texas, but I really think they bounce back this week at home against Kansas State. And not, I think Kansas State is a better team than I gave them credit coming in the year. My argument here is I don't think they can keep up with the scoring that Oklahoma State can put up. And therefore, I think Oklahoma State kind of edges them late in the game. It's only a 4.5 point spread. We win this thing by a touchdown, and I get a cover. Taking Oklahoma State minus the 4.5.
So there was 4 teams I took against the spread. And
Right.
Oklahoma State's one.
Okay.
Oklahoma State is going to blow them out by at least a touchdown, I believe. I think they got more of an air attack. I think Oklahoma State comes out and dominates Kansas State. I would believe that would be a lock. So I did have that against the spread. That being said, I'm going to move on, and I'm going to go with another spread. I was high on them last week. They did cover. I took them plus 18.5. I know it was a deficit that they had to come back from, but they did come back late. It was a high-scoring game, but they did cover the 18.5. Chip Kelly's going to have to keep on proving on if he wants to keep his job. I think UCLA plus 7.5. Lock it in.
I like that. I like it a lot. My next play is actually going to head to the ACC. It's going to be Wake Forest and Boston College. Wake Forest minus 7. You look at Boston College here in Power 5 games, they're plus 7 in turnovers this year. They're plus 7. That's quite a swing. And if you can play that kind of ball and just keep the yards within, reasonable, I think we can hold it within 7. I like Boston College plus the points here.
Once again, Clayton, I know we didn't discuss our picks before we started recording this video, but I am on the same page as you.
Good.
The spread that I had was Boston College plus 7. I think they cover easy against Wake Forest. Wake Forest has struggled this year so far. Boston College is more put together this year so far, and I agree with plus 7 on Boston College.
All right.
Another team I got is, I know they didn't show up early in the season, first week or two, but and I know Minnesota has a better record, but against the spread, I like Purdue straight up versus Minnesota.
My last play is going to be a 2-team teaser, and I'm actually going to go on the other side, but I like it teased. So I'm taking Minnesota plus the touchdown and a half. I like the plus 7.5 tease with another Big Ten team. And I think we catch Michigan in a letdown. Everybody's on them. They're kind of booking it in. I'm putting this on a terrible team, but I'm taking Rutgers plus 27, teased up to 33. So Rutgers and Minnesota, I'm taking a teaser plus points on both.
The only reason I don't like that is, we all know Harbaugh is at that point where his ass is about to be gone. He's got to do something. If you want to bounce back in college football and you want to be heard, you got to put up points. I think at some point in time, Michigan's going to start clicking on some cylinders, and they're going to start playing for their coach if they want him to stay there. I mean, Harbaugh is not a bad coach. I mean, he hadn't done. It's Michigan. I know it's his alma mater, but it's hard to recruit against the SEC and draw players from there. I mean, I know Urban Meyer did it because he had them SEC connections, but Jim Harbaugh or John Harbaugh, whatever, he don't have those. So. To be honest, I look to see Michigan to start putting up points. I would go against you there. I think that this is that week that they're going to start putting up points. So I stayed away from that one. I wanted to take Michigan because they got embarrassed last week by Wisconsin. At some point in time, they're going to have to start playing for the coach if they want to keep him there. And at some point in time, he's going to have to motivate them players to put up points to keep his job. So I look to see Michigan to put up some points this week.
I look at the reason I said that is I'm going the opposite way. I think they're about to start hanging it up. Honestly, it doesn't seem like he's into it this year, and I don't know why. I don't understand. I know that this is the longest he's been in any school, and it's only year 5. I just don't see him continually. It's like he's losing his interest in it. But that's why I went with it. That was all my plays.
But the last one I have against the spread is Hawaii plus 2. Hawaii +2. They
I
played
got you.
well all year. Um, they've shocked a lot of people, and I think they're gonna get it done +2.
I got you. All right. Well, that's it. And we'll see you next week. Thanks, Michael.